And welcome to episode 3 of Lads of the Past. That's right, we are now gone back to the old name of Lads of the Past, so it is nice to be normal and back. We are joined with Sonny.
Hi guys, it's your favourite India here, and it's not Sachin Tendulkar, it's Sonny.
with Jamie.
Hi.
And Brendan.
I'm back. The ball bag is back.
The ball bag is back. This is the first nostalgia we've had you on. And just to let you know, this is an 18 plus episode. So if you get offended by anything and you really want us to talk to us about it, please don't, because we don't care. And so, yeah. But this episode, again, as always, the lads don't know what they're going to be talking about. And only I know. So this episode is going to be an interesting one because it brought it up through the roller world story last week.
The haunting of roller world.
Yeah, so this episode's kind of based around that because I find it absolutely weird. So we're going to be talking about ghost stories in this episode. Ooh. Ghost stories. Jamie, so firstly, Jamie, because you just pulled a face, do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Nice and easy.
And what about you, Sonny? Do you?
There's definitely something else out there, but most things can be explained. But it's kind of like up in the air.
Bren?
To a degree, yeah. I don't believe that family people come and haunt you, but I think there's entities out there, I should imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a weirdo. I kind of look at it and think there's aliens out there in stealth suits. That's what I mean. But I have had some weird shit happen to me, so we will get into that. So we're going to start with the first question. And again, if you guys have had a scary experience, let us know. It's always cool to hear an amazing ghost story. So we'll start with you, Jamie, because I'm sure we're going to struggle with you today on this one. Have you ever had an unexplainable experience?
I've had a couple, but I still don't believe in ghosts.
Okay, give us one, because you might have to use it again on another question.
Okay, so I went a few years ago, me and my boy's mum, Amy, second date, to do something different. I took her to a spiritualist church. I thought, it'd be different. We'll go to the spiritualist. She might get a ghostly message. It'd be fun. Some woman kept looking over, and I said, she's coming for you. She's coming for you. Like, winding her up. And this woman come over, and she said, does anyone over here know the name? For whatever it was, let's say it was Sandra. It wasn't that, but let's say it was. And Amy's like, yeah, that's my great-grandma. And the woman's like, giving her this message, telling her this, telling her that. And then the woman in front said, no, she says, I think that's for me. And Amy's like, oh, okay then. So she just ended it. And the woman was sort of talking to the other woman. And then the woman says, before I go, I've just got to say, I don't know why, but I'm getting the image of a broken pencil. Does that mean anything to anyone? And they're all like, no. And Amy's like, yeah, it does. Thank you. Thanks for that. Anyways, we're leaving. I said, what does the broken pencil thing mean? She says, well, tonight, as I was getting ready to come out and meet you, I was doing my eyeliner, and it went in my eye. And in anger, I broke the pencil in half and threw it in the bin.
Oh.
Okay. I was like, okay, Weatherspoons then, is it?
But maybe the woman saw the eyeliner on her. Like, that was wrong and wonky.
Did women notice that sort of thing? Well, no, because she obviously corrected it with the new pencil.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good point.
She's not going to go out and say, oh, well, it's wonky now. Oh, fuck it. I'll just say I've got a lazy eye.
Yeah. Well, I used to live above the old Bell on Sadlergate, and I know Jamie knows, and a couple of you did.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, and obviously it's one of the most haunted pubs in the country, in Europe, actually. Yeah. And we had a party. I brought loads of people back. We had a party at the Blue Note, and we brought loads of people back, and my house. There was about 50 fucking people in my house, and they were all like banging and like screaming. And my housemate started kicking his door, going, "Get her, fuck out, all of you, get out!" And we were like, "Oh my god!" Like, and I was like, "Shit!" Like, sorry guys, you've got to go because Carl was a bouncer, like a massive bouncer at the walkabout. He got stabbed 3 times and he didn't even notice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a beast. And so and then about a week later, he comes into the pub, and I'm like, "Mate, I'm so sorry about inviting people back." And he's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, just, you're kicking off the other night. I'm so sorry. He's like, "Been on holiday, mate. What are you talking about?" Like, what the fuck? So we was like, well, I told him what happened. He was like, "What? What do you mean?" So we went up to the room, and we thought someone obviously been messing around, but there's no way anyone can get into the room. There's just no way unless you go through his door. And his door is completely bolted locked as well, like from the top and bottom, and locked in the middle, and it's completely locked. So he was just like, "Yeah, it's not me. We don't know how it's done it. We don't know anything." So yeah, he moved out a week later. He moved out. Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. Like that was bad. I was for a few days. I couldn't sleep in there. It was just not nice. Not nice at all. Come on, Sonny, what have you got?
So mine is just it's my sort of my go-to one. When I used to live on Haddon Street in Normanton, and do you remember that show on Ram FM, Graham Torrington's Late Night Love? Graham Torrington. Anyway, so I couldn't sleep without any sort of noise. I've grown out of it now, but I remember like Graham Torrington was my guy growing up, and I had one of those old radios. Well, not really an old one. It's like a hi-fi, but like it had the deck on top and then 2 cassette stuff, and obviously I tuned it to 102.8 Ram FM and going on like that.
Is that an advertisement?
Anyway, yeah.
Other radio stations are available.
And then anyway, I was going up to bed one night and the radio wasn't on, and I heard someone say, "I'm going to get you, Sonny." Like dead men say, "I'm going to get you, Sonny." I was like, legged it back downstairs. Went to my mum and dad. I says, "There's someone upstairs. They're going to get me." They're like, "What?" So yeah, they're going to get me. Well, my dad wasn't there. He was on nights. My mum called the neighbour over. I remember his name, Hardy. And he come over. And the one that I genuinely thought it was just like the radio or someone just messing around. Someone got in there, my next door neighbour or whatever. But no one was in there. And the thing that shit me up the most is that when he opened the curtains and then looked up at the sky, like, he's like, "Oh, you never know. It could have been a ghost." I went, "That's it now." Like, I just couldn't. I couldn't sleep in that room for fucking like weeks. I'd sleep in my mum and dad's room. Shit myself. Myself.
He was only 14, bless him.
Last week.
But yeah, that was. I, even now to this day, I still can't explain it, and I don't know why Graham Torrington would say, "I'm going to come and get you, Sonny." But when I have this PTSD moments, I put it down to Late Night Love.
Late Night Love, yeah, I love it. Bram?
Oh God, mate, I've got it didn't really affect me as such, but obviously I was in the house at the time, and my mum and my auntie swear by it and stuff, but my auntie Kath, she lived on Emerson Square in Sunny Hill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And moved into the house, mate, and just from day one, like strange shit was happening. Like, for example, like when you decorate a house and you always put Bren was here or whatever on before you paint it or wallpaper. Well, my auntie wrote on this wall, Davina was here. Like, there was only young, my aunties back then, my mum and that, but nothing would stay on that wall after. So like, they tried to put a mirror up on the wall, it would get fucking chucked off. Try to put a picture on the wall, it would get chucked off. My mum was babysitting me, Michaela. Michaela will tell you this. Michaela, Michaela Liam. It was her mum's house. Okay. And my mum was sat there babysitting. She looked over, seen the door handle go down. Nobody in the house. There's nobody there.
What?
Love it.
Michaela used to get woken up by an old man. And obviously my mum used to run upstairs, or my auntie Kath or whatever. "What's up?" He won't let me go to sleep. Stuff like just really strange shit, mate. And to be fair, the house was eerie as fuck. Eerie as fuck, mate. And they didn't stay there long. Put it that way. It drove my auntie out. So take that what you will. Take that what you will. You know what I mean? When it drives you out the house. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt or anything. I think they got a clairvoyant out to the house.
Sorry.
Honestly, mate, and basically they just turned around and said, if it ever happens, if Michaela gets woken up again, just open the bedroom window and say, "Oh, God bless and thank you for coming." And then apparently, do you know what I mean? Shit like that. Just really, honestly, mate, I could put my mum on live now, and she'll tell you some of the shit that went off in her ass. And there's no reason to bullshit. My mum's not a bullshitter. Do you know what I mean? It's just like serious. I mean, come back to this episode in a couple of years to get Michaela on.
Yeah.
You know, it's some really, really like nobody wanted to stay in the house, mate. Put it that way. So
that's a good story, though. That, and luckily we've only had 22 swear words come up so far, and we've been recording for 10 minutes. 23. We're doing all right.
We're talking about ghosts, mate. We're getting scared.
Are we getting scared yet? That's the thing. So
look at Jamie's face. I think he's yes.
Jamie. But this is the reason why, because we did speak about it, and Jamie was like, "I don't like ghost stories. I don't like ghosts. He just hates them." So I wanted to.
I'm a chicken. I've had a couple of weird things happen to me, and it freaks me out, and I can't watch horror films. But other than that, I'll tell you, the day I believe in a ghost is when one taps me on the shoulder and says, "Lend us a fiver, mate."
Ghost.
Who's that behind you? Right.
And
So
you only shit it because you got to give him a fiver.
Then I'm running.
So this is a good one. It's a really good question. I mean, what is, an urban legend in our hometown? So we're all from Derby. What are the urban legends? Now, I'll go first so you can have a think. Pardon me. So the thing I could think of was the drummer boy. Remember that story? Did anyone remember the drummer boy of Derby? So this is something I don't know. I don't know if it's on Drummill. And there was a war or some kind of battle, and this drummer boy wasn't supposed to go out and wasn't supposed to be on this battle, and then he got shot and killed. And every now and people who camp out on the hill can hear, and then that's the drummer boy. But apparently, people have heard the drums in the distance, and people have heard it when they've been camping out, and they've heard the drums going off. So yeah, that's the drummer boy.
Never heard that.
No,
I don't know that one for Derby, no.
no. I could tell you, there's another one in the Bell. There was a woman who was sleeping with the landlord of the Bell. She got pregnant, and he killed her. So the story didn't get. It's a true story. And she was killed in the room where I used to sleep, but it was above me where I used to sleep. She was killed in there, and that's like the famous ghost that's in there. And I could tell you now that the Thompson brothers who owned it used to tell people to say that they saw it, so that it makes it more popular.
Gotcha.
So yeah. But yeah, they're the only two urban myths I know, I think.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
The one for me was
Junior. Oh, go on.
So, sorry, Jamie. The one for me was more so when they lived in Ireland, and they have something called a banshee. Which is obviously a witch.
Just to stop you there, Jamie. Your picture's just moved from behind you.
Oh, shit.
I'm not joking. It has.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, that's horrible.
That was weird.
Fuck off.
Come on, Brad.
I swear I'll just turn it off. I'll be gone.
Oh my god! It just came up off the green screen and just started moving. Oh god!
Brendan, Banshee, go.
We have this urban legend about banshees. Basically, if you hear a wailing banshee, somebody in your family's going to die. I remember.
Sorry, yeah.
I know, mate. It's just all these urban myths and legends, isn't it? Well, I can remember years ago, well, when I was younger, my brother's obviously 7 years younger than me, so he was only fucking, I don't know, 8 or 9 at the time, and we was out. It was winter time, so obviously it was dark early, and fucking there was like I don't know what it was, whether it was a potato sack or something or a big bag. It just went floating across this field behind us. And my brother ran into my mum. She's like, "Oh, I've just seen a banshee." And he just, I'll never forget that. Because obviously I was only young as well, but thinking back of it now, it's just fucking so funny. But yeah, that was the big myth in Ireland about this wailing banshee. Apparently, you see a wailing. If you see or hear a wailing banshee, then something bad's going to happen.
That's weird. Go on, Joe.
Mate, oh yeah, I was just going to go tell about the one at Pear Tree School where if you looked in the mirror, we said it on the last episode, and you said Bloody Mary 3 times.
Yeah.
Looking in the mirror, turn the tap on.
How many people have done that though? How many people have looked?
Oh, look, I did that at my school as well, Dale School.
Did you all do it? At school? Oh, we used to do it as dares. Like, I dare you to do it. Loads of people wouldn't do it. I just did it, but nothing happened.
I did it. Didn't bother me.
No, nothing happened. Nothing like that.
Except for that moving photo frame behind you now.
That thing that's hovering.
She's gone for you now.
Where's your hat gone?
It'll only kill me once. You know, I say that to myself. You know, when I'm lying in bed and I'm terrified at night, I just say to myself, Jamie, what the fuck? You're only going to die once. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's the way they kill you. Man. It's fucking excruciating.
Sonny, what's your
on to mine. You guys might know that pub called Mafeking pub in Normanton.
Oh, the Mailing. No, what is it?
No, Mafeking, across from Dale Primary School. Mafeking pub. Ages ago, so I don't know what it is now. It's been converted into flats or something now. But they had a bowling green on the back, and that bowling green backed onto our street. And it was more of a street sort of urban legend that at night, if you ever looked over the fence, you'd see like ghosts bowling, like doing bowls. No one ever saw it. And this is what I mean.
That was just white people, Sonny.
The cricket whites. But during the day it was fine. But you know, whenever the ball used to go over at night, like, yeah, that's it, lads. Time to go home, I think. We'll get the ball in the morning. It never ever used to go over during the night because there was fucking people playing bowls on there. The cricket whites.
It was just it's like Jamie said, mate. It was just OAP white people, mate. That's what it was.
Sort of like grey coloured, aren't they, when they get to a certain age?
I could see their veins as well. It's horrendous.
Oh.
But yeah, that was more of a street urban legend that we had going on just on our little cul-de-sac street. So yeah, so could be bollocks, but it was something that we all sort of stuck by. If a football went over or anything went over, it's like, yeah, just leave it till tomorrow. Go see the landlord. He'll give it us back.
I love it. And this is what I wanted to get to the point is like people have got some weird stories. So if you've got, do you believe, here's a question. So do you believe in a haunted place? Something like, it doesn't have to be wherever in the world. Do you believe in haunted places? If so, where is it haunted? Where is it the scariest thing that you believe that's haunted?
Emerson Square in Sunny Hill.
What's that?
Emerson Square in Sunny Hill.
What's that?
Where Michaela lived. The house was
the house. Do you actually believe that?
Do I believe it? There was something going on there in the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do. I don't. There's too many people say the same shit for it to be bullshit. Do you know what I mean? You know, liars, they trip over their own lies, don't they? You know what I mean? They trip up over their own bullshit. And no, other than that, mate, I would imagine old school fucking hanging places are probably fucking haunted as shit as well. Old gallows and stuff. You know what I mean? People.
Yeah, that was me, Brent. That was what I was going to go to the Derby jail in town.
Yeah.
I did like an overnight sort of stay there as well. I did invite Jamie, but he didn't fancy it. And you could just stay. You could just stay there.
Because I heard other people were going to be there.
It was good. They did like a whole sort of seance and everything. It felt dead eerie. And I think it's probably because obviously it's old, like you said, Brent, old hanging places, stuff like that, old jails. But that's where I kind of felt like, that's where I was kind of like tested a little bit. Like, there might be something there, you know. I'm not going to completely dismiss it. So that'll be for me, yeah. What you said, Brad, the Derby jail when I went there.
Yeah,
You
man.
don't think that guy who held the séance made it eerie?
No, not even the
Because that's what
seance bit.
that was the experience you was paying for.
No, not even the sales bit. Just us being there. Just like even having the dinner there was.
Well, he's not going to do it in McDonald's, is he? You know what I mean? He's not going to get a bit of stereophonics on in the background, maybe a disco ball hanging from the roof. He wants it to look and feel eerie.
It was very, yeah. It
You've been
was, yeah.
You see, I believed, I actually genuinely believed, ghosts are fucking shitting me up. I believe that the hotel, the Old Bell, is haunted, like completely. Like I can say it now because I don't work there, but I used to have the keys to everything in the Old Bell, and we used to go exploring everywhere. And in the cellar, underneath the bell, I don't know if anyone knows this, but underneath the bell there is tunnels, and there's hundreds of them. All over Derby, there's hundreds of these tunnels everywhere. And if you go to the Old Bell, there's literally just a cage. It's a cage gate, that's it. And you can get access to all the tunnels just through there. You go in the cellar of the Bell, and obviously I had the keys. So we, being us, used to go down it all the time. Like, it used to be like a party thing, you know, bring people back and go, oh, yeah, I live in the Bell. Yeah, look at this. And go down. And I tell you what, some of the stuff that you could hear coming down there. Obviously, you can hear, like, wind coming through the tunnels, like you can hear that. It's quite creepy. But the one thing in the Bell, right, there was a room. So upstairs in the attic, you could go in the attic, but there was this room, and there was nothing to it. I've never seen anything in this room, but I just couldn't go in the room. I don't know why. I literally just don't know why. My brain just was like, just don't go in that room. And in there, and then all it was a box of posters because the Beatles played at the Old Bell. And I wanted to take these Beatles posters home because obviously it was just like just before they were famous, obviously. And I wanted to get these posters, but I just didn't dare get them. And I don't know why. I don't know how to explain that. I really just don't know how to explain it.
The thing is, I've always said, it's like somebody, we could be talking back hundreds of years ago. Somebody must have seen something to come up with ideas of ghosts and stuff. It's not your figment of imagination. No. You know what I mean? It's like somebody in the histories of time has seen something and fucking noted it. And then obviously as time goes on,
the stories develop.
And you know, it's like all these filmmakers, like who sits in the room one day and thinks about the film The Exorcist. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to think of a film about a girl being fucking possessed by the devil. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could have that's a fucked up imagination, or you've got some information from somewhere that it has actually happened in the history of time or whatever.
Right.
That's my idea of it. It's the same. It's the same with aliens as well.
I'm going to put this to you now.
I've said to Trina, I reckon within the next 10 years, we will be told that there is extraterrestrial life. I'm telling you now, because they're warming us up towards it now. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
come on, Jamie. It's coming.
The aliens is a different thing altogether, and I do think there's aliens. But ghosts. Let's just nail this down now. In current technology, you think of all the things we've invented: mobile phones, sat navs, television, radio, cameras, video cameras. Yeah, all these things have been invented in the last 100 years.
Muller corners.
Ghost stories have been around for 2,000 years. Yeah, people have been telling stories about ghosts since the beginning of time. But no one's ever invented something that can clearly capture one on film. No one's ever recorded one. No one's ever took a photograph giving one a high five because they don't exist.
Yeah, but
they can make all this technology, but for something that's been around longer than before the car was even an idea, people were talking about ghosts.
Yeah, but this is the afterlife.
No one's ever invented. No one's ever come up with a way of.
Yeah, because it's not a living mechanism, is it? It's the afterlife. It might be harder
to. It was a car until it was just an idea, a space age idea.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you're on about video cameras and cameras. You know, you take a photo of your son or your daughter. You don't take, that's a total different thing of taking a picture of a ghost. You might not be able to get a picture of a ghost because it's not a solid entity.
But they've tried. That's what I'm saying. Why haven't they invented something that does?
Because
if you can see it with your eye, you can see it with a camera.
Yeah, but you can't, can you? You can see it through a camera, but if you take a picture, will it develop through a camera?
Like Beetlejuice, they look like sheets until you take the picture, and they've got no.
There
feet.
there was some. There was that footage of, and it's happened quite a lot to people. So, the Xbox Connect. You remember the Connect for the 360?
Yeah.
So people left them on the telly, right? And it picked you up by head, middle of your chest, shoulders, knees, arms, and whatnot.
Toes, knees and toes.
So it used to have, and then people were sat there, and then it would pick up other people in the room that were moving and walking around. And so have a look at the footage of that. The Connect ghosts.
There's your technology.
Yeah, and people, like, there's one that was really bad. That one just walked into the front room, stopped, and walked it to the camera, to the Connect, and moved it round, and like no one was there. So yeah, it's quite.
Tell you what you need to look into, Jamie, as well. Look into the Enfield haunting as well.
Yes.
I have an ex who stayed at that house and said it was BS, and she's proper into ghosts, and she really wants to believe in them. And she said she stayed the night with her friends. She paid a fortune to do it, and it was rubbish.
Yeah, probably weren't visiting that time then.
Yeah, exactly. Man. I might not live there anymore. I dare you, after we record MMM, you go on to YouTube and look at the Enfield haunting documentary.
No,
I've seen it.
Mate, that is... I don't know about that. So
rubbish.
Much. I mean,
all rubbish, in my opinion.
Fucking how do you know?
I'm with you, Brad.
Look at fucking Derek Okora over there with his fucking red hoodie on.
It's a Cora. It's a Cora. I
don't give a shit what it is.
I don't believe in mediums. I mean, I remember when I used to work at the Bell, I used to have to look after the ghost people who come in as well. I used to stay overnight, so they'll come to me if they need food, letting out, or whatever. And I used to get mediums all the time. And so the first medium that came in, literally just threw me off all of them. And he sat down, he went, "Yeah, I'm a medium, yeah, and oh God, there's a little girl throwing a ball just behind you." I was like, "What are you fucking talking about? How, like, if you're walking around seeing stuff like that, you wouldn't be sat there going, I can see a little girl throwing a ball." No, you'd be freaking out, wouldn't you? No matter how, like, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So here's another question for you guys: what is the scariest story you've ever heard? Scariest. And it can be, and this one, it can be about a killer or anything as well. Scariest thing. I think mine. You're talking about? It doesn't have to be a ghost. It just has to be like a weirdest story. I mean, I'll give you my example. Mine is, so this girl got back. She was out on the piss in England as well. She came back. She came home, saw that there was a guy asleep on the settee. Walked into her bedroom, made some food and whatnot. Said that, knocked on a housemate's door, but she was in. But a housemate was in. She could see the TV light on, but her housemate didn't answer. So she went into bed. She sat down, and then about an hour later, she got woke up to her door scratching. And she was like, "Oh, that's a bit weird. Like, why is that happening?" So she texts the housemate, going, "Are you scratching at my door?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "Oh, I think it's your mate then on the set." And she's like, "What mate?" It's like the guy on the set. She's like, I ain't got a mate over." So she phoned the police. They stayed in the room, phoned the police. The police came, and there was no one there. And he'd wrote, "I'll be back" on the door.
Oh, it's Terminator then.
Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, but that's quite scary, though, isn't it? Like, that is.
I've got one similar.
That's
to
a
that
true story as well.
Yeah, and I think this one's true. It's very similar. It's where I think it's in America or something where, and it freaks me out probably because I got kids. But there was like a babysitter looking after this little lad. Parents have gone out, obviously left numbers, call us any emergencies, anything like that. Then she obviously sent the kid to sleep, and she could hear the kid talking on the walkie-talkies or whatever they call it, the baby monitor, and hear him talking. Goes up, says, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh, just talking to the teddy bear clown at the end of the bed." Thought nothing of it. Wild imagination. This, that. You're probably going to guess what's happening here. Goes back downstairs. Can hear the kid talking again. Goes back up. Come on, you got to stop talking. He says, "Hey, he keeps talking to me. I've got to talk to him and this, that, and the other." All right, cool. So she rings her parents. She says, "Look, your lad keeps talking to this toy clown at the end of the bed." And they turn around. I said, "What toy clown?" And she's like, her heart obviously just sank. She went, "Shit." She went, "What do you mean?" She went, "No, we don't have a toy clown. He doesn't have clowns or anything at the end of his bed." So she's like, "Okay, cool." She went, "Do me a favor, just go get him and just go outside. We're coming home now." Gets him, picks him up, goes outside. The clown's there, obviously not moving. Calls the police. Parents come back. Turns out it was a fucking like rapist, paedophile killer that's on the loose, and he was just there. And yeah, thankfully they didn't get. But it's America, so what do you expect?
Of course, you expect it to be that, but that's disgusting. Like that's horrible.
Really messed up, and I think it's more
horrible.
the fear of just like someone being in your house and thinking, "Fuck, like shit."
Yeah, that is nasty.
Yeah,
that is nasty. What about you, Bran?
I don't know if any of you guys have seen the film. It's an old film called The Entity. Basically, it's a woman, and I've actually watched and read up on it because I was, even though it's weird and stuff, but I thought this can't be, you know, a bit like what you're saying, Liam, Jamie, this ain't fucking true, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of piqued my interest a bit. But it's about a woman that felt like she was getting held down by two ghosts and then raped by another one.
Shit.
And
we've been swindled, Jamie.
Yeah. But,
we've been rumbled.
I just remember watching. It's a film. It's called The Entity. So it's available out there. And I remember watching it years and years ago with my cousin Leo. Don't know why I'm watching fucking films like that. Just we used to watch It and Poltergeist, all that shit. And and then I seen a clip on it on either a Facebook reel or a TikTok reel, fucking, I don't know, about a year ago. And I thought, oh, fucking, I remember watching that. And I knew it was based on a true story. So I did some fucking, I was at work on nights and I just thought, oh, do you know what, I just went on fucking Google and it's all true, man. She's out there. She's done documentaries and stuff and fucking, they investigated it. And honestly, man, it's some weird shit. Yeah. Have you looked into it now?
Yeah, looking into it, yeah.
Yeah, and it fucking...
Is there a lot of swearing in that film? Like this podcast? I think...
Hey, it's 18 plus. If you don't like the swearing, the other podcasts are available.
There's swearing, and there's fucking swearing fucking all the fucking time.
Oh, shut up, fucking Jesus Christ. He never swears. Not bad.
So come on, Jamie, scariest story.
And don't swear. Whatever you do, Jamie, you are live. Do not swear.
Okay, don't say fuck or bugger.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
Can't go back.
So, this is actually a true story.
Oh.
When we were kids, and me and my cousins, all my aunties, especially my auntie Sue, told us about Parnell. And Parnell used to kidnap children. Don't know what he did to them. No one knows what he did to them, but he'd get them and they'd never be seen again. And that's why you don't run away from your parents.
Oh.
And I tell you something, he's still around today because my kids know about him.
Really?
Oh, now. Why are the coppers going to him?
If you don't want to wander off from your parents, because Parnell will get you.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of freaking me out.
Just be warned.
It's kind of freaking me out.
He'll probably take me because he probably thinks I've got a takeaway.
You didn't put no cheese on my cheese and garlic naan.
Don't get me started with that.
Golden mushroom pillow rice. I got just pillow rice.
Pillow rice.
Pillow rice? What is pillow rice?
Pillow.
You said pillow.
Pillow
rice.
Listen to them, mate. You were right.
So is another weird question, but before we get into the question, we're going to go to our little skit, which is Jamie's. Who would win in a fight? Boom!
You got You'd think it'd be more like a bell ringing, ding, ding, ding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Round one.
I need to download a better soundboard, which I will do.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can go two ways. We stick with the past. Let's do it horror themed in the past. Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers. Who would win in a fight?
Who would win in a fight? Jason. When he got those two women in a sleeping bag, swung around, smashed them in a tree, like that's just absolutely disgusting. Jason,
I'm going to say Michael Myers, because up until the last one, didn't he get chucked into one of them bloody
Mincer thing.
Mincer things? But until then, he's unkillable. He lived in a fucking sewer pipe for about fucking 20 years, isn't it?
I know. So, yeah, but Jason can't die either.
I'm going Michael Myers, mate.
Yeah, I'm going Michael Myers. He was more for yeah.
You're not looking to me for an answer. There isn't an answer.
And I've got them here now. Fuck!
If I have to give an answer, the answer is Jason Voorhees.
I'll tell you what you need to do.
He's got the machete, but machete beats a knife every day.
What you need to do, Bumcheat, you need to set up a virtual fighting thing, and you need to set up Bosh.
They used to do it, didn't they, with that plasticine figures?
Celebrity
Deathmatch.
Yeah.
So there we go. It's a tie because it's 2 versus 2. So we don't know who's going to win on that one. So yeah,
let's have some comments. Let the listeners tell us.
Yeah. Who wins? Who wins? Jason or whatever the other one is? We don't care.
Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better thing in a film. You know, when he's on that buggy and he's trying to turn, it's like beep, beep, beep.
Oh, so that was who would win in a fight. So let's go to the nearly the last question, second to last. So what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? And it can be with weird people, it can be anything. Now, this is the scariest thing that ever happened to me personally. We were playing in the woods. It was broad daylight as well. We were playing on, I think, we called it Frog Island when we were kids. It's like a little concrete island in the middle of this, like a little tiny little stream. And we used to sit on there and play all the time, throw rocks in there and whatnot. And this guy walked over this, like to the bridge. There's a bridge. Let me put it in the picture. So we were stood on this Frog Island. There's a stream to your right of you, and then there's a bridge that crosses over it. And he walked over the bridge, and he was just staring at us. And he had it like, he was just staring. And we were like, just carrying on playing, just looking at him like, lads, just be careful of this guy. He is just staring at us. And he was staring for ages. And we're like, you all right there, mate? Can we help you? And he started walking round. As soon as we spoke to him, he started walking round to get onto the Frog Island. So we were like, okay, we were stood there still until he got a little bit close. Then, because we knew if we jumped down, we could jump over. He'd have to jump over the stream, and we know how to do it, and he didn't. So we jumped down on the stream, got up and just legged it down the field. And as we turned around, we saw a runner, like a jogger running down towards us. As we ran past him and looked around, turned around, this guy was just walking, and he was only just behind us. So he chased us, and like I don't know what he was trying to do or what he was going to do. But if it wasn't for that jogger there, bye-bye, Liam, bye-bye. Either that or it would have been Liam can't walk properly like Forrest Gump anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Baggy bum on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have massive pools now thanks to him. Yeah, that's weird though, like proper weird. And I still think about it because I walk my dog there all the time, and I thought about it today, and I was like, oh my god, I remember that. That still freaks me out. Like it's scary. Like that does scare me. What about you, Sonny? Scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
I think you have to give me a bit more time. I'm not sure. I don't want to go back to my original sort of first answer of that fucking Graham Torrington ghost. But it was probably the scariest things for me was like near-death experiences and stuff like that. That's when I've like genuinely like shit myself because it was real. I mean, it wasn't and it was. I think I was just on my bike riding around, whatever, and I just took this junction, just absolutely. As a kid, you didn't give a fuck, did you? You thought they're going to stop. I mean, and I fucking flew down. I think it's like Porter Road or something. Didn't look at this junction, and a car came out, and I just got past it, but it clipped my back wheel. I just went fucking flying over. I was sad, nothing wrong with me. But like I was thinking, if I was like half a second late, that was it. No, I was done, dead. That's probably that's genuinely scared me. Nothing else has really sort of scared me. That I was like petrified, thinking shit. I nearly died.
Yeah, it is scary.
Shit answer, but that's probably the best
Yeah,
one.
but
that
that's
scared me.
near death, innit, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, near
That's
death
what
is
that-
scary. Yeah, you could have been the one haunting us.
yeah.
It might have been
Definitely
you. Yeah. Fucking hell. What about you, Jay? Scariest thing?
Mine again is near death. I am, as you know, terrified of sharks, and because of that, I won't go in the ocean. But I was on Bondi Beach in Sydney, and we were body surfacing. You like catch the wave and like swim in with it. But all the good waves were further back, so we're swimming out to the better waves. And I'm not a very good swimmer anyway. I'm swimming out to these better waves, and I suddenly realised that I am in really deep water. Can't touch the bottom. I'm in fucking Australia where there's sharks everywhere. I was like, I just know that if anyone's going to get bit by a shark, they're going to go for me. I'm going to be the biggest one there because I'm fat. So he's going to think, hey, I'll have that one. More of a mouth.
Maybe for a week.
Yeah. So I was like,
The weakest link.
The shark probably thinks to himself, "Oh, look at Jamie! I'm about to bang some of him in the freezer." And then the rest next week.
No, you probably would have got the bit in. He would have been like, "Nah, mate, that's a 4 shark job." That.
Big elbow.
Yeah.
So I decided to swim back. I was like, fuck this, I'm swimming back. But when you're swimming in waves, for every 2 meters you go forward, you get dragged back a meter. So I'm slowly making my way back to the beach, and I'm knackered. I can't swim anymore, and I think, fuck it. The lifeguard can see me. If I drown, I drown. I can't physically go anymore. So I just give up. And as my face was up, as the water was up to my chin, the tip of my toe touched the fucking sand at the bottom. And I hopped all the way to the beach, collapsed on the beach, and I've never been in the ocean since. That was 2006.
that relief moment of when you can actually touch the sand with your toe.
I gave up. I genuinely gave up. I thought, fuck it, if I drown, I drown. I can't go anymore.
Oh my god. Well, that's a good story, that Bren.
Oh, I don't know, mate. Really.
I don't get scared. My nightmares are scared of me.
Yeah, no. I can remember going back to my island days again. We used to live in a little village, and there wasn't many street lights. It's just I think the population of the village we lived in was like, I think 2,500 or something like that. I can remember I was going back to my nan and granddad's house for some reason. And they lived about 1.5 miles from the actual village where the pubs were. And I was going up a road called Ladywell Road, which is very dimly lit. And this day I always thought someone was following me. So much so that I sprinted for 1 mile up a hill to my nan and granddad's house to shit myself. I just had a feeling some fucker was following me. And to this day, I still think somebody was following me and they were running after me. But I could have just been pissed. But that's about the weirdest, freakiest thing, like, you know, near-death experiences. We used to fucking drive a Mazda 626 around fields and stuff, and flipped a few of them, and now and again
a few of them.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? We had mate. There was no police. There was no police in the village where I lived, so we could just. I bought a Mazda 626 off a neighbour called Jeff Daly for 50 quid. And we just went into we just went into Joe 90's field and just fucking racing it around like a twat, like, and just crashed with like all sorts of cars. Just used to buy bangers off people and just pretty much like Jamie does, like banger racing, but around the field. We crashed into ditches, crashed into fucking hedges, trees, flipped cars, but never got seriously hurt. I don't know how, but yeah. Other than that, mate, I mean, when you're fucking heading towards a tree, sometimes you think to yourself, "Oh my god, could be the end of me here." But luckily, the Mazda 626 was a big car. It really affected us at the time. But yeah, other than that, mate, yeah, I always thought somebody was following me up Ladywell Road, but that might have been the beer.
I remember when you used to have those, that what you said, Brent, like you used to walk, you used to see someone in the dark, think, fuck, they're gonna like,
that's what it was.
They're gonna get me or whatever. Do you mean? And they're walking towards you, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but your gut instinct is to go, "Excuse me, you got the time?" Just to see how they are, just to see if they're going to kill you or not. Because if they don't tell you the time, you fucked it.
It's like that. It's like that.
Time to die.
It's like the universal language of talking to people. It's like every time you get into a taxi, been busy, mate. What time you on to?
There was a house I used to live in on Ellesmere Road in Alveston, and I don't know why I used to do it, but I used to walk when I turned the lights off downstairs to go to bed, like lock up, and then you go to bed. I used to leg it up the stairs, thinking someone's grabbing my legs.
Same, man. Same.
So weird.
Everybody's lived that.
It's so weird, isn't it? Why do I do that? And I legged it. I used to be proper like 4 or 5 steps at a time. Like, whoa! I'd be up in the steps for like 2 seconds.
You know, every house my mum has ever lived in has been haunted.
Mm.
I actually think it's her that's haunted.
Or it's her playing tricks on you. It must be.
No, she genuinely believes in ghosts, and she won't even drive past one of the houses she lived in growing up on Old Uttoxeter Road because it was that scary living there. She's like, you turn the light off when you left, and when you look back at it, it turned itself back on again. I'm like, yeah, it's old wiring. It's not. It was an evil poltergeist trying to run up the electricity bill. It knew we had no money.
So it's a
He was driving us out.
A weird question. A quick last one question. Have you guys done a Ouija board? Anyone done a Ouija board?
Yeah.
No, my mum did. Okay,
there we go.
Another story. My mum, when she was a kid, her and her cousins she always tells me this, did a Ouija board. All the parents were like in the front room talking, drinking gin or whatever, and the kids were in the back room being good. And they did a Ouija board. And it spelt out a word, and they were like, what the fuck's that? So they went into the room where all the adults were, and they were like, we've just done a Ouija board, and it spelled this out. What does it mean? None of the adults knew what it meant either. It's not even a real word. It is, it's a word. It's not. Someone got a dictionary, looked it up. It's the place you go to where they decide whether you're going to heaven or hell.
Whoa.
Oh, that's good.
And
That's
they were
good.
Kids. They were kids who were like
That's good.
6 or 7.
That's
so there's
good.
no way they could have, 1, spelt it, 2, know what it meant. The grown-ups didn't know what it meant.
Mental.
So consult a dictionary.
I thought you had
Liam, you know my mum, Liam.
Yeah,
Ask her about it.
I will. I mean,
the dyslexic spirit there.
See, I did a Ouija board, and it's the same. It's a weird story, and no one knew this, and no one knew the answer. So we were doing a Ouija board, and we said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Liam's spirit. I'm Liam's guardian. I'm Liam's protector." And it just kept saying that, "I'm Liam's protector, Liam's guardian," and it's all it was saying. Then we're like, "Okay, what's your name?" And it's like, "It's Matthew." And we was like, "Who's Matthew?" We couldn't go. It's Matthew. It's Matthew. It's Matthew. And then we was like, "Okay." And then we like got his surname. It's Matthew Jape. And then we was like, "Well, how do you know him?" And he just put Grandad. And we're like, "Oh, fucking hell, like this is weird." And that's it. That's all we got from it. This ghost was my protector, and it was my granddad. And so I went to my granddad and I asked him, I was like, "Do you know Matthew Jape?" And he went, "Nah, I don't know anyone." And I spoke to my nan. I was like, "Do you know Matthew Jape?" No, I didn't know anything about it. So we just left it. And then 20 years, 30 years, well, whatever years later, it's a long time, I got my granddad's diary, like the World War II diaries. And he used to keep one on his pocket, and they're tiny little things, but it's for them to write in it with the tiniest pencil and whatnot. And in there was a little kid who was a new private called Matthew Jape. And my granddad scraped him out of these battles numerous times, saying, "This kid's going to fucking get me killed. This Matthew Jape." And my granddad protected him. Now that's fucking weird. Matthew Jape, it's everywhere, all in it. And we can't explain to it. Not even, I don't know if my granddad didn't want to talk about it, because he was war torn. Like, he was messed up after the war. And yeah, and we had Matthew Jape everywhere, and it's just all in this book. I'll show you. I'll send pictures of it. And yeah, this Ouija board told us. No one could have known that. Not one person could have known it. Yeah, that's my wish.
But again, if there was such a thing as ghosts, they'd be everywhere. They'd have all the best jobs.
There'd be trillions of them. Trillions.
Yeah, they'd have all the best jobs because they're never off sick. they'd fucking.
How do you think they're ghosts?
No, they're all off sick.
They'd be like, "Oh, did you enjoy? Did you go to cinema? What did you watch? Oh, I couldn't fucking see it. There's a really tall poltergeist in front of me. He won't move." You know what I mean? Because he'd be there first, and he would never buy tickets for anything.
Yeah, but
They'd be everywhere.
What if they're stuck in between? What if they're stuck in between?
Limbo.
Oh, I just lost my job. What? That fucking poor guy got
they're
promoted over me.
They're in limbo, Jamie. They're in limbo.
No, I believe. So let's get to the final bit then. So I believe. So again, I'm a bit of a nerd, but I believe that they are. This is my theory: is that they are a past presence that's a mixture. I'm a worm. I'm not a wormhole. A black hole, wormhole, whatever you want to call them. Time twister, conspiracist. I've always have been, and my theory is that they are crossovers in time and in the time portal, and for some reason we get connected. Like if you throw something in the water, eventually it just disappears, and then a few hundred years it'll just come back up. You know, that kind of thing, like a scar on the time thing. But what do you guys think? What do you think they are? If they are anything, yeah. Well, if they're anything, what are they?
To rule them all.
Yeah. So what is it? So what do you guys think they are?
Oh, what's that?
That was my overexcitement trying to keep it in.
Oh, fucking hell.
So what do you think they are? Come on, we've got 2 minutes. What do you think they are?
I think for me, it's like ghosts are almost an imprint on a building or the mortar or an object. And this is something when I did the ghost walk around Derby, Richard Felix, that sort of well-known sort of ghost hunter, he said like they used a lot of limestone back in the day, and there was a material in it that could. I know Jamie's really struggling with this one, but they almost sort of got imprinted onto stuff, and that's kind of the way I kind of think about it. Do you know when they say only a certain pub is haunted, like the Dolphin's haunted, and Trip to Jerusalem in Nottingham's haunted, and this, that, and the other, and it's a case of they're like attached to something. So like Bren said, they're in limbo, they're stuck, so they just attach themselves to an object or a person, or I mean, it's something that's
They
kind
don't
of
haunt new builds.
That's what I'm Sam, mate. I'm in a new build. This is nice.
Yeah, that's what they don't haunt new builds.
No,
Jamie,
no.
Jamie, do you believe in evil? Do you believe there's evil people in the world?
Yeah.
We know there's evil people.
Exactly. So these evil people might want to stay around as these entities tormenting people.
Oh.
Not all ghosts evil. Not all ghosts
no,
evil,
but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is,
you see some good ones stay behind to protect us from the evil ones.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mate, it's all, no.
Not all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
You can say whatever you want to say, mate. Just so you know, you're gonna have a good night's sleep tonight. But you're gonna go to bed. You're gonna go to bed shitting yourself, pal. Don't you worry. You say whatever you want to make yourself feel better.
So here's one just to help Jamie a little bit, and I think like this will help a lot of people who think about ghosts. So the science about it. This is the to me the best theory. Again, I'm the one who believes in time, but this is the best theory: is your brain tells you these things, and it's a way of protecting yourself and your mind, because we are that scared of death. Our brain implements visions and visuals in our minds to help us understand, and when we are going to die, we think that there's an afterlife and we think that there's something there, so we are comfortable with death.
Yeah.
And that's what the science is, what people think, and that's what ghosts are. Ghosts are people who have got. I mean, everyone's petrified of dying. Like everyone who sits there going, "Oh, I ain't fucking scared." Like, yes, you are, because there's nothing. Everyone's scared of dying, and it's a fact. And your brain is what tells you get over it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, that's the science about it, and it makes sense. That, I mean, to me, that's logical, isn't it? That's the logic. What do you think about that, Jay?
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's
nice.
Whatever makes him feel better.
Yeah,
Looks a bit, that shirt looks a bit sweaty, Jamie. I'm not going to lie. Nervous.
I've just not watched it for a few weeks.
So on that note, if anyone's got any ghost stories they want to tell us more, just let us know. And that is the end of the episode. Sonny, have you got anything to say before we go?
Nothing. Just hopefully Jamie has a lovely sleep tonight.
Jamie, you got anything to say? I hope Sonny
I've got lots to say. I'm not going to say it because this podcast is only 18 plus, and I think you need to be over 21 to hear what I've got to say.
Bren, anything?
Yeah, just get on board with Graham Torrington's Late Night Love.
Is it still going?
Is it fuck?
No, I don't think it is. I need to search him up actually. See if he's still around.
Is it Late Night Love? Was it
check
Late
his
Night Love?
ghost.
Yeah, Late Night Love.
He could be a ghost.
He could be
Graham
now.
Torrington.
Yeah.
Ram FM's a ghost.
I think the last time I listened to Late Night Love, it was Titanic
still
was
alive?
around. No, Celine Dion song. That was playing out every other song. That was just fucking ridiculous. It was always on. But I used to.
You remember that when they
Everybody.
do. John didn't know Lisa that long.
I
They'd
love
only met
that!
on a Friday.
I forgot all about it. I used to love that.
Yeah.
And little did they know that
know
Jill
that
was
he
their
used to be a man.
daughter, and they lived for 4 years before Don accidentally had a bad accident along the beach, knowing that full well.
Just to let you know, he is still going and he's on Boom Radio if anyone wants to see him.
Oh,
brilliant.
amazing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Join
Great
Graham
time.
at
Late
10 on
Night
Friday
Love.
nights and Saturday nights from 9 a.m.
Is it not
9 p.m.
Is it not Late Night Love?
Radio.
It's not. it's yeah. So he's delivered messages of love and adolescent confusion for years. Join him.
Oh,
Boom
yeah.
Radio. I'm plugging him
He's plugging him.
in
Right.
more ways than one.
And that was our episode 3 of Lads of the Past. It's nice to be back with the lads and doing what we love the most. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys. And again, if you've got any comments or you want to like, subscribe, do whatever you want for us, just do it. Thanks. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba